For the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you all please remain standing for the national anthem?
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Good evening, Mayor Petty, Superintendent Benenda, Ms. Colorio, Ms. Maloney, Mr. Bowler, family, friends, faculty, Coonins in the front, and most importantly, the Doherty Memorial High School class of 2016. I'm Seamus Coonan, the senior class president, and I am honored to be able to stand in front of all of you as the voice of my peers. We are finally here to celebrate the hard work that we've accomplished over the past 4 years at Doherty through blood, sweat, and tears, but most of all, laughter. To many, we might just be those West Side kids who hang out around Newton and Tatnick Square. But in reality, these brilliant young people sitting behind me will one day be excellent innovators of new ideas, fight for and defend us at home and abroad, and even one day lead this great nation of ours. We've overcome many struggles throughout the years. Most of us remember those days where we've had a game or event and still had to finish that essay we thought we had more time to do. And we remember those long nights of studying for that test that we still had to say a private prayer over before passing in. So I'm asking all of you, don't look back on these memories negatively. Look back and be proud that you were able to overcome the hectic lifestyle that is being a high school student. And once we step out of these doors, we will officially be adults. Yeah. We will begin our journey and become those innovators, defenders, and leaders. But those things won't be handed to us. So we must work hard in order to achieve our goals. And I am confident that the education and opportunities that we've acquired at Doherty are just the tools that we'll need as we set ourselves on the path towards achieving those goals. As Stephen King once said, talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individual from the successful one is hard work. So along with all of your many talents, you crazy Highlanders, work hard for what you want and become those successful people I know you all can be. I love you all, my Doherty class of 2016. And for the last time, class dismissed. And now, I have the pleasure of introducing my friend and valedictorian of the class of 2016, Madeline Lerner. Right. Maddie's list of accomplishments include National Honor Society member, recipient of the Harvard Book Award, Advanced Placement Scholar Award, and Worcester County Superintendent Association Scholars Award. Maddie will be attending Tufts University in the fall, so please join me in welcoming Madeline Lerner.
Good evening and welcome, Mayor Petty, Mrs. Calorio, Mrs. Benenda, Miss Maloney, Mr. Bowler, faculty, family, friends, and of course, the Doherty graduating class of 2016. Today, we come together to celebrate a graduation, but it is more than just that. Today marks a transition in our lives. As of yesterday, we were Doherty seniors. As of today, we must forge our own paths in the world. In the pursuit of a goal, people often become so focused on the end result that they forget to stop and enjoy the journey that brought them there. Many of us have longed for this day since freshman year, but now that it has arrived, it is bittersweet. We have reached the destination, but we can never forget the journey. We must remember the people that brought us here, all of the people that we've met along the way, the friends we made who helped us through the toughest times, who always gave a good laugh or a shoulder to lean on, the teachers who opened our minds to the world, who taught us how to think for ourselves and how to solve any problems that we encounter, the parents who gave us encouragement, who told us to never give up, who saw us through every step of the way. It is the people who we have known along the journey who have influenced us most profoundly. To all of you, thank you. We never could have made it this far without you. There are some things along this journey that I will never forget. Carrying out a court case in Miss Randall's English class, listening to music and chopping wood in Mr. Lynch's unforgettable U.S. history class, heated debates about art in Mr. Roberts' composition class, building three-dimensional shapes in Mrs. O'Leary's calculus class, swinging pendulums in Mr. Saley's physics class, and perusing the deeper meanings of poetry and prose in Mrs. Doyle's literature class. Everyone has their own fond memories of Doherty. Although we may forget some of the specifics, we will never forget the bigger lessons that we learned in our classes, the moral lessons and lessons about life. These are the lessons that we will take with us forever to college and beyond. Now we start a new chapter in our lives. This marks not the end, but the beginning of a new journey, a foray into the unknown. For some, this will be college. For some, it may be the beginning of a career. Wherever our next journey takes us, we will never forget Doherty and those who brought us here. And whatever your next journey is, make it worthwhile. Forge your own path in the world and make it a great one. I know all of you can and will do amazing things, but above all, what I wish for you is happiness. Do what you love and follow your dreams, for they will take you to wonderful places. And no matter how rough the path before you, never give up. As Dr. Seuss said, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the one who will decide where to go. The time has come to say goodbye to Doherty, to all the friends who we have grown with over the last 4 years. We will go our separate ways, but we will never forget each other and our roots. I wish you all the best of luck as we embark on our next journey. Congratulations, class of 2016.
Mr. Peter Bowler is a longtime member of the Doherty community. As a student, guidance counselor, and assistant principal, and since this past February, as acting principal. Mr. Bowler holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Psychology and Administrative Certificate from Worcester State University and a Certificate of Advanced Graduate Studies in Social Rehabilitation Counseling from Assumption College. He encourages all of us to succeed in the classroom, on the playing field, and in the greater global community. Mr. Bowler supports each of us, encourages us to be lifelong learners. Please join me in welcoming our principal, Mr. Peter Bowler.
Thank you, Manny. Good evening. Mayor Petty, Superintendent Benenda, Chief Academic Officer Dr. Rodriguez, members of the school committee, especially Donna Colorio, John Monfredo, Ryan O'Connell, City Councilor Tony Economo, Acting Quadrant Manager Miss Maloney, faculty and staff of Doherty High, parents, families, friends, and members of the class of 2016. It's my great pleasure to welcome you to the 50th commencement ceremony for Doherty Memorial High School. Tonight is such a wonderful and unique celebration in the lives of our graduates and their families. Our high school years represent so many pleasures, struggles, and triumphs. It is a period of only 4 years in what hopefully is a long and healthy existence, but it helps define who we are for the rest of our lives. The diploma you will receive here tonight represents your level of determination, hard work, intelligence, and dedication. For many, it is a stepping stone to a career, a life in the military, or admission to a new college or university. The class of 2016 shared many accomplishments, both academic and extracurricular. Members of the class of 2016 were accepted into a great number of prestigious colleges and universities, including American University, Amherst College, Boston College, Boston University, Bucknell University, the College of the Holy Cross, and Hamilton University, Mount Holyoke, NYU, RPI, Smith College, UMass Amherst, Villanova, and WPI. For all of their college acceptances, our graduates, your parents, and your teachers should feel tremendous pride this evening. To the parents and guardians of our students, thank you for the faith and confidence you showed in us when you decided to send your children to our school. We appreciate greatly the effort that you have displayed in supporting your children and their education, as well as our school for the last 4 years. Your children certainly would not have achieved to this level without your care and support. I would personally like to thank Ms. Maloney, Mr. Capstick, Dr. O'Malley, Dr. Reese, and Mr. Whalen for all the support they've given to me, our faculty, our students, and their parents this and each year. Thanks to all who helped prepare for the events this evening, especially Stephen Bachalia, Judy Fairfull, Carol Hoffman, Dan Sullivan, and Carolyn Waters. I would also like to thank the teachers of Doherty High School for the effort and care that they've shown these students the past 4 years. Our building isn't the most attractive facility around, but thanks to the continued efforts of Mayor Petty, the Worcester Public Schools Administration and School Committee, hopefully that situation will improve in the near future. The quality of teaching that takes place on a daily basis in the building, however, is first rate, and I wouldn't trade our staff for anything. Thank you. As a proud graduate of Doherty High School myself, I'd like to say to the class of 2016, welcome to the club. Our math department head, Miss Razak, always jokes that Doherty High School graduates seem to be everywhere. Amongst our faculty, nearly 30 of our 100 staff members are Doherty High School graduates. I believe that shows the great pride and sense of belonging that permeates amongst Doherty graduates, a feeling that I hope you will all now share. Unfortunately, none of us is perfect, and as young adults, you'll occasionally make mistakes. I assure you, when I was your age, I made plenty. I recall a time when I truly and regretfully messed up in my life. My father came to pick me up, and on the ride back home, he did not belittle or berate me. In fact, the ride home was fairly quiet. The only thing he said was, "A smart person will learn from this mistake." I've always held on to that thought and tried to remember that even our mistakes present an opportunity to learn and improve. You graduates have done so many things right and occasionally make mistakes of your own, but a definition of your character in the past and in the future will be how well you respond to adversity as well as success. This class, for me personally, and for so many Doherty teachers that I've spoken to, represents so many of the reasons why we as teachers went into teaching in the first place and why we continue in that profession today. Speaking to other staff members throughout the year, so many commented that this class is not only one of the most academically gifted and hardworking group of students, but more importantly, one of the nicest groups of students we can ever remember at the school. The many accomplishments of the Doherty class of 2016 were on display in so many forums. From the plays performed, the concerts held, the artwork produced, the academic awards earned, and the athletic accomplishments achieved. They won state championships in football and downhill skiing and competed in district playoffs in nearly every sport each of their 4 years here at Doherty. All that said, it was often the little things that I so enjoyed. I'm reminded of a cold night this past February when our boys' basketball team was playing against Holy Name. Our senior spectators showed up dressed head to toe in American Pride clothing. As the game progressed, our student section would regularly break into singing the national anthem and chanting USA, USA, confusing the other team, I'm sure. They were enjoying themselves as much as any group I've ever seen in our gymnasium. And when Doherty won the close game, they stormed the court in celebration. When I think of this class, I'll think of those moments. The support they showed one another, the enjoyment they had from spending time together, and the appropriate manner in which they conducted themselves. It will certainly be a great part of the long and lasting legacy the class of 2016 will leave behind at Doherty. You're truly a special group of young people. Congratulations on your accomplishment that we are celebrating here this evening. Thank you.
Miss Sally Maloney has been the principal of Doherty Memorial High School since 2002. This February, she stepped into the role of acting Quadrant manager for the Worcester Public Schools. Miss Sally Maloney pushes each of us to strive for excellence in all that we do. She cares very deeply about our school community. Miss Maloney always makes herself available and treats each one of us with the same degree of respect. Please join me in welcoming our Quadrant manager, Miss Sally Maloney. You should be president too.
Thank you, Tavian. Thanks for the intro and for the wonderful words in your interview with the TNG. Tavian was interviewed by the Telegram and Gazette. It was featured in June 4th. If you haven't read it, it's a great read about his experience at Doherty and the experience of so many of us. So, good evening, Mayor Petty, Superintendent Maureen Benenda, school committee members, Donna Calorio, who's also a Doherty parent, Brian O'Connell and John Monfredo, Chief Academic Officer Marco Rodriguez, City Councilor Tony Economou, and Mo Bergman, who are both Doherty parents here tonight, faculty and staff, Mr. Bowler, families, friends, and members of the class of 2016. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with you here tonight to share in your ceremony. Tonight is a celebration of the accomplishments of this class, but it's also a celebration of the collective efforts of all the people who have contributed to the success of these students. To the parents, guardians, and families, thank you for choosing the Worcester Public Schools, and more specifically, Doherty High. This class is such a great group of young people, and you are to be congratulated for having done a phenomenal job with them. Thank you for making your family a part of ours. We feel fortunate to have shared the high school experience with you and yours. To the faculty and staff, thank you for your continued and diligent efforts to provide our students with meaningful opportunities, guidance, and support for success. You are to be commended for your dedication to your profession and to our students, and we are proud to have you at Doherty High. To all members of the Doherty community, thank you for your continued support over the years, and most recently during my time filling in at the central office. Special thanks to Peter Bowler, who has been the interim principal in my absence, and to Ed Whalen and Chris Moriarty for stepping up as well. I appreciate the opportunities that I have been given and the experience that I've gained, and will be using what I've learned at the school as I have chosen to return to Doherty High next year. And most importantly, to the members of the class of 2016. You're a wonderful group of young people who have shown that you have the drive, commitment, skills, and perseverance needed to be successful academically, athletically, artistically, and altruistically. You've worked hard and done well for yourselves, and we are all proud of you. You're a special group of young people who display a great deal of humility, compassion, determination, respect, and kindness. It's clear that you know how to work hard, have fun, help others, and show appreciation. These qualities will surely serve you well wherever life takes you. Think of the people who have inspired you to become who you are today. Your classmates, your family members, your friends, your teachers. Please be sure to thank them and try to be that person who provides that support for someone else. We have a responsibility to ourselves and to one another to shape our world by our words and our actions. In his book, inspired by his song with the same title, Tim McGraw reminds us to be humble and kind. He states, "At the end of the day, especially in these times, it's important to be kind to others, to show respect, compassion, and tolerance, to support diversity, and to have the strength to be humble in the midst of it all." The song lyrics also include a message I'd like to share with you that I think is especially fitting for tonight. When the dreams you're dreaming come to you, and the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. Don't take for granted the love this life gives you. When you get where you're going, don't forget, turn back around. Help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your special night. It's a little different to have a manager up here, but I was your principal for a while. So it's been a pleasure to share your high school years with you. I wish you continued success and a wealth of happiness. Congratulations.
Good evening, everyone. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Mayor Joseph M. Petty. Mayor Petty is serving his third two-year term as mayor and his 10th two-year term as city councilor at large. He is also our executive secretary to the Employees Retirement System of the Massachusetts Housing Finance Agency. Mayor Petty grew up in Worcester. He is a graduate of Holy Name Central Catholic High School. He received a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration from Nichols College and a law degree from New England School of Law in Boston. He and his wife Gail are the parents of two sons, Andrew and Joseph, and have a daughter named Nicole. Now please join me in welcoming Mayor Joseph M. Petty.
Thank you very much. Good job.
Have a nice day.
Good evening, everyone. School committee members Brian O'Connell, John Monfredo, Donna Colorio, City Councilors Tony Economo, Mo Bergman, State Representative John Mahoney, Superintendent Benenda, Dr. Rodriguez, honored guests, parents, members of the faculty, and the students of the class of 2016. First, I want to recognize Quadrant Manager Sally Maloney, Principal Peter Bowler, teachers, and other members of the staff who work together for the success of Doherty High School. On behalf of a grateful city, you do a great job. Thank you very much. And keep up the good work. I appreciate it. And I know your success would have been impossible without your parents and families who are here tonight. These impressive young men and women who are graduating is a testament to you here in the audience. The moms, the dads, the grandmothers, the grandfathers, the aunts and uncles, the brothers and sisters, thank you for all the work you have done to raise these students right, and for all the help you have given. I don't know that a single student on the stage would be here without your commitment. So thank you, parents and family members, for doing a great job. The students on the stage tonight have succeeded in so many ways. On the athletic field, most every one of your teams won the Worcester Inter-High titles. In the arts, and especially the athletics, you have achieved. And let's give a shout out to the girls softball team. Good luck tomorrow in your game. And a shout out to the boys baseball team. I get to see both games a little bit on Saturday, and you made Worcester proud. Congratulations for a great season. On this stage are 97 members of the National Honor Society and 137 John and Abigail Adams Scholarship recipients. Further, two of these students, Tavion Vassar and Damone Walker, have been awarded the prestigious Posse Scholarship. Congratulations. Because of the fine work of the students on stage tonight, our teachers, staff, and administrators, and of course our parents and families, the Worcester Public Schools and our students are achieving more than ever before. Our students from Doherty and other high schools are going to the finest college and universities in the country. Our students are scoring higher on standardized tests, taking more advanced placement classes, and our graduation rate is the highest of any urban school district in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Over the last 5 years, we have seen a steady increase in the achievement of our students, and I expect this to continue. I am proud of the class of 2016. I'm proud because many of you had to overcome many things to be here today. We have many needs in the city, and the needs of our families and our students are not left at the classroom door. Some of our students come to Worcester from countries where they have faced years of war and persecution, and yet you succeed. Some of our students face health challenges, and yet you succeed. Some of our students are learning English as they're learning algebra, and yet you succeed. I will close with a quote from President John Adams, our second president and principal of Worcester Classical High School for a short time. He said, "There are two types of education. One should teach us how to make a living, and the other how to live." I am confident at Doherty High School you have learned both of these things. So tonight, we celebrate your success, knowing full well that you've become something great. We all look forward to the many accomplishments that lie ahead. Congratulations to the class of 2016.
Ms. Donna Calario is a lifetime resident of Worcester, dedicated to our community and to the Worcester Public Schools. Ms. Calario earned her Bachelor of Science degree in Marketing and Economics from the University of Massachusetts and her Master's degree in Counseling from Anna Maria College. She is an adjunct faculty member of Quinsigamond Community College, where she teaches sociology and psychology. Since becoming a member of the Worcester School Committee, she has served as Vice Chair of both the Finance and Operation Committee and the Governance and Employee Issue Committee. As a community member, she serves on the board of the St. Peter's Youth Basketball League and the Worcester Community Development Advisory Committee. Please join me in welcoming this year's graduation speaker, Ms. Donna Calario.
I want to thank Doherty Memorial High School for having me here tonight. I feel honored to be sharing the stage with the class of 2016 and my daughter, Emma. Yeah. Tonight, I am not only a school committee member, but a proud parent of the class of 2016. As a parent, I have met some of you as far back as when our children attended West Tatnick Preschool. It seems like that was just yesterday. Everywhere I go in the city, from the grocery store to sports games to the mall and to Starbucks, I run into Doherty parents. Most of the time, we exchange casual conversations, and other times we share our struggles about our kids and about our lives. We have built a network and a support system. We are the parents of the class of 2016, and I will miss you. As a teacher and a parent, I can only imagine how tough it is at times to motivate our kids and keep them on track. As a parent, I appreciate those extra hours you put into our kids, showing them support. I remember many times stopping by after school and seeing many of you still working and preparing for the next challenge. Teachers, you have shown up at the kids' games, their performance, and more importantly, their milestones in life. I know you have grown close to our kids, and I would hope you keep in touch with them as they approach the next phase of their journey. I will miss you. Now, students, this is why we're here, right? Yeah. Okay. So what can I say about you? Honestly, you guys are great. You really are. I've run into a lot of you in the last week, and you asked me to make sure that I give you a shout out. Well, let me tell you the story. The last time I gave a shout out, some of you parents were there, was the Forest Grove graduation. And I forgot to mention Ari. So let me tell you, she hasn't let me live that down. So for 4 years. So this time, I am giving a shout out to everybody. All right? I have never met a closer group of kids. You guys have supported each other through good and bad times. That's what makes this class so special. You are energetic, enthusiastic, persistent, driven, kind, outspoken, shy, smart, talented, and gifted. You are the Doherty Memorial High School class of 2016. You are special to me, and I will miss you. Now, before I cry, let's take a selfie. Ready, guys? Thank you.
Mrs. Maureen Benenda has been an active supporter of the Worcester Public Schools and its students in her roles as a teacher, a parent, an administrator, and most recently as our new superintendent. Mrs. Benenda holds a Bachelor of Science degree and a Master of Education degree from Fitchburg State College and a Master of Education degree in Administrative Planning and Social Policy from Harvard University. Her belief in providing all students with opportunities to succeed and her passion for community service and engagement has been a foundation for her work in the Worcester Public Schools. Please join me in welcoming Superintendent Ms. Maureen Benenda. How are you doing? It's so good to see you.
Thank you. Welcome, Doherty High friends, families in the class of 2016. I'd like to first recognize the staff members who have joined the students tonight. Thank you for your dedication and the high standards you have set for our graduates. I look forward to working with all of you. Also, thank you to the parents of the class of 2016 who are beaming with pride tonight for this important accomplishment. My message to the class of 2016 is to approach your future with an open and prepared mind. Take time to see what is not always obvious. This is a major component of all discoveries and interventions. A prepared and open mind is required to really detect the importance of information. For example, think about Alexander Fleming and his discovery of penicillin. He accidentally left a petri dish of bacteria open and a mold got inside, which appeared to kill the bacteria. It turned out the fungus was penicillin and it was a groundbreaking antibiotic. Did you know that silly putty was discovered by James Wright while he was looking for a rubber substitute that the United States could use in World War II? Saccharin was accidentally discovered during research on coal tar derivatives. Pluto's moon was discovered by U.S. astronomer James Christie in 1978. He was going to discard what he thought was a defective photographic plate of Pluto when his star scan machine broke down. While it was being prepared, he had time to study the plate again and discovered that the bulge in the planet's image was actually a large moon. Cornflakes and Wheaties were discovered by the Kellogg brothers in 1898 when they left cooked wheat unattended for a day and tried to roll the mass, obtaining a flaky material instead of a sheet. Chocolate chip cookies were invented by Ruth Wakefield when she attempted to make chocolate drop cookies. She did not have the required chocolate, so she broke up a candy bar and placed the chunks into the cookie mix. So you see, it's important to have an open mind and to make sure you're observant. Finally, as William Osler, who was the founding professor of Johns Hopkins Hospital, said, today's and tomorrow's success depends on doing today superbly well. Doherty High Class of 2016, prepare yourself for your future. Approach your work with energy and passion. I wish you happiness and success, and my deepest congratulations to the class of 2016.
The members of the class of 2016 have received a great many awards. The lengthy and impressive list will be published in the online version of the Worcester Telegram and Gazette. There are just 3 Principals Awards that I will present here tonight. The things these 3 students have in common are their hard work ethic, their ability to overcome difficult obstacles at times in life, and their commitment to making Doherty High School a more enjoyable school for all of us. The first award is being presented to a student who came to us from another city in the beginning of his sophomore year. He overcame a great deal of adversity in his life before and during his time as a student at Doherty. As a student, he had some bumps in the road early on, but by his senior year, he graduated with honors and with all A's in effort and conduct. As a 3-sport athlete in football, ice hockey, and lacrosse, he wasn't always the best player on his team, but his fellow players and coaches would tell you that nobody gave a greater effort during practices and games or was a better teammate. In the fall, he plans on attending the University of Massachusetts in Boston. It is with great pleasure that I present this Principal's Award to Kyle Farrell. The second student was such a joy to have in our school on a daily basis. She was a real go-to type student who was willing to help out other students and staff members in our school any way she could. She's one of the region's top tennis players, and in the fall will be attending Franklin Pierce University on a full scholarship. The winner of this Principal's Award goes to Alana Wyatt. This last student came to the United States, for the first time in April of 2012. That fall, he came to Doherty as a freshman and was a quiet and shy student. He quickly assimilated into the culture, and before long, he became a familiar face to many around the building. As time passed, we realized he had a great love of music and singing. On occasion, we were fortunate enough to have him sing for staff and students in the cafeteria. Elvis became his passion for singing, and before long, he became sort of an unofficial mayor of Doherty. In the fall, he plans on attending Assumption College to continue his education. It's with great pride that I introduce this final Principal's Award winner, Mr. Tom Fahn. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas.
We ask that you hold your applause till all the students have been called. Valedictorian, Madeline Kieran Lerner. President, Seamus John Coonan. Vice President, Emmanuel Brown. Secretary, Damone Tyreek Walker. Treasurer, Tavian Allen Vassar. Catherine Josephine Efria Apiaja. Sophia Imani Aguayo Garber. Arinma Anya. Jared Michael Aubin. Alexa Simone Berry. Paul James Bushy. Brianna Sully Clancy. Jamie Marie Courtney. Simran A. Dargan. Natalie Lucia DiDomenico. Denevalice Dominguez. Drew Anthony Economou. Haim Mayaritai Gavel. Stephen Gino. Gino Jogalari. James Edward Goggins. Abigail Joan Hainsworth. Ala Ali Hassan. Patrick Allen Hopkins. Andrew Colombo. Maureen Wanjico Kamanu. Jackie Trong Dao Lam. Madeline Ann Lang. Aubrey Janine Leary. Klaus Latzai. Caitlin Elizabeth Lynch. Darcy Elizabeth Malone. Isabel Margaret McCarthy. Rowena Mavis McDonald. Indiana Riley Messier. Grace Ann Mushian. Moni Roth Nan. Ashley Bridget Palamenque. Morgan Elizabeth Payson. Priscilla Pham. Vivian Pham. Anna Catherine Reedy. Caroline Mackenzie Root. Victor Samuel Sanchez. Anita Soulage. Chantel Morel Thomas. Rachel K. Tonelli. Dionis Zedro. Aaron Ajemai Adu. Ketlin Aliaj. Adam A. Amoa. Maya Yasmin Asbridge. Casey Elizabeth Burkiel. Elvis Y. Bawachi. Liseth Valeria Calderon. Lily Bernadette Carmody. Musa Shamoun. Marissa Sika. Devlin Zisa Courtney. Thomas V. Dang. Stephen Doe. Vasiliki Doko. Doreen Dorma Boedu. Melinda Dua. Catherine Taylor Evasius. Cara Louise Fluid. Leah Christine Gaudet. Andonak Grozdani. Anthony H. Ha. Tuan Hu Ha. Samuel James Harris. Theophilos Hatsopoulos. Zai Her. Victoria Fumilola Ishola. Wadelin Jonathas. Fotini Carabinas. Cameron Casper. Nahir Chikro Lado. Kaylee Elizabeth Mahan. Lauren Elizabeth Mahoney. Narig Manukian. Emma Elizabeth Marks. Tariq Akil Massenberg. Megan Jane McGrath. Alex Macaria McKinney. Ada Daniel Montero. Owen Daniel Murphy. Tina T. Nyo. Nancy Lee Nguyen. Tuan D. Nguyen. Caroline Elizabeth Nero. Jane Najeri. Rayanne Nunez. Eunice Yaboa Omain. Callista Maria Pacheco. Casey Elizabeth Perkins. Marissa Jean Pinto. Katarina Pela. Lynette Rivera Colon. Quinn Matthew Robert. Julissa Rodriguez. Hari Jacel Sanchez Contreras. Cassandra Marie Santana. Harriet Princess Sadie. Jared S. Silkman. Samantha Lee Stake. Dylan Murphy Thompson. Valerie Crystal Tocatli. Mark Anthony Torres. Trin T. Tron. Shay Kathleen Van Vleck. Carlin F. Velasquez Pena. Samuel Adam Venjeric. Rakeem Benjamin Williams.
I'll give the diplomas to you now, Enzo, okay? Moises Acevedo. Andres Esteban Acosta Acevedo. Linda Audrey Adakwa. Sabrina Aku Abongtang. Samuel Guado Aquagrin. Beka Ahmad. Emmanuel Awali Asabani. Diana Asuhari. Jordan Justin Alexander. Rachel Amankwa. Henry Kelvin Amampo. Miriam Sonelli Anyuha Ortega. Chime Anina. Christopher Jose Aponte. Maura Elizabeth Bacon. Haley Noel Baker. Joseph Bichard. Hassan Hussein Zaleen Behadili. Timothy Davis Belanger. Monique Elizabeth Belpedio. Micah Charles Bergman. Jason Biba. Miles Jameson Bickford. Gabrielle Blaisdell. Cooper M. Blanchard. Anel Aful Bonda. Ali Salsasi Booth. Matthew Ryan Branch. Layla F. Bruno.
Dorothea Brozo. Kyle William Burke. John Brian Campoverdi. Brittany Maria Capers. Tyler James Karen. Natalie Sereno. Janasia Monet Carter. Anderson D. Castillo. Adula Seelick. Shayla Alexis Chapman. Daywall Charles. Kaylee Renee Chase. Long Tron Chow. Dominic Angel Cheng Ruiz. Deron Vanek Chong. Tunisia Unique Colazo. Edney Joel Cologne. Shannon Faye Cook. Jennifer Mercedes Corrido Mercado. Suk Deme. Benjamin Scott Darling. Nicholas Stephen David. Tiana Annette De Los Santos. Cole Patrick Degnan. Alexis Rose Del Rio. Tyler Nicholas DeLorge. Nicholas Michael DeMaro. Vanessa Lee Diaz Gamon. D'Amica Monet Dixon. Janelle Marie Dominique. Braden K. Driscoll. Tyler Michael Duquette.
Kyle Brennan Farrell. Tony Joseph Fayard. Elizabeth Lauren Flynn. Ariella Eve Forget. Jennifer Franco. Taylor Adele Fredette. Nishan Freeman. Zane Alexander Freeman. Emmanuel Vicente Fuentes. Julio E. Fuentes Garcia. Beta Maya Gajaro. Jalisha Marie Garcia. Shay Javon Gardner. Anna Fabiola Gavita. Deborah Marie Gomez. Santiago Gomez. Ana Claudia Gonzaga Pereira. Eric Gonzalez. Jocelyn Cherie Gonzalez. Rama Hajbakor. Wed Wasim Habib. Robert Derek Hall. Georgia Alexandria Hammond. Jaquan M. Harrigan. Timothy Lamont Harris. Joseph Patrick Harity. Laquan Hazard. Giselle Marilyn Hernandez. Michael Hernandez. Jada Love Hickerson. Rosemary Hidalgo. Joshua P. Heward. Amani S. Hutchins. Erica Tran Huyn. Sean Owimie Izowaki. Andrew John Jakes. Eva Juka. Igli Kamaj. Gift Colombo. Aleni Karapatsis. Curtis Christopher Karaoke. Erin Kathleen Kablinski. Kurt Russell Keneally. Michael Allen Kilmer. Andrew P. Kristen. Angelo Christos. Erin Kathleen Labuski. Caitlin Noel Lamonda. Viet Hoe Lee. Andy Lika. Anasia Talani Lopez. Jasmine Yvonne Lopez. Tiana Yvette Lopez. Jonathan Lopez Matos. Elma E. McCall. Cameron Mark McCool. Christopher R. Mahan. Samuel Maldonado. Talis Sinra Mariani. Joseph Dale Murata. Isaiah Jose Marquez. Eric Alexander Martinez. Simeon Tobias Matthews. Destiny McBride. Mariana Mesa Correa. Jessica Langley Miller. Kiros Rafat Mohareb. Jordan Darwin Moran Cedeno. David Michael Moreau. Christy Nakalari. Roman Narain. Kishli Jancy Navarro. Talia Enid Navarro. Esmeralda Nagira. Mariana Machado Nunez. Tanisha Nicole Ocasio Cruz. Adienes Oliveras. Andrew Alexander Arantes. Jamie Ornell. Destiny Orozco. Deborah Angelique Ortiz.
You need a pad, Reese? You're all set.
Charles Robert Papples. Griselle Polino. Justin Marson Parse. Spencer Hansen Perlstein. Natalia Victoria Pena Santana. Anderson Jose Perez. Caitlin McKenzie Peterson. Brianna Lee Petraeus. Delena Tai Hom Pan. Tom Fontan. Tom Fan. Let's give it for Tom Fan. Yusuf Evangel Plant,
Keep him near the edge.
Kofi Poku, David Francis Plant, Jeline Marie Ramirez, Jacqueline G. Racine, Yamaris Joanna Reyes, Monique Reyes Navarro, Manuel Octavio Reyes Ponce, Ilana Maria Reyes Vargas, E. Delise Rios, Yujus Riska, Alberto Rivera, Felicity Vorat Rivera, Kaylee Sandra Rivera, Shirley Robles, Alex Donavina Rodriguez, Jasmine Marie Rodriguez, Ronald Louis Rodriguez Acevedo, Elena Michelle Roman,
Oh, now you're asking for
Isaac A. Roman, Jared Antonio Romero, Lavacia Chate Rosario, Bradford Paul Ross, Jonathan Antonio Roy, Gabriela Nicole Salaman, Panahoti Samaji, Ilan Marti Santiago, Rejala Sansesi, Jesselyn Aline Seda, Elena Shata, Matisha Olivia Sever, Carl Richard Smith, Marcus Antonio Smith, Serena Shana Som, Carmen Taisha Soto, Michael Patrick St. Florent, Sarah Soto, Kiran Tafang, Kiana Eve Taylor, Maria Camila Tazel, Grant A. Thomas, Monica Mary Thomas, Paul Francis Thomas, Tyrell Alexander Thompson, Delina M. Chuan, Rachel Yulungi, Joshua Antonio Vasquez, Selena Marie Vasquez, Kristen Joel Velasquez, Kendessa Tajane Velaz, Angelica Le Vestal, Nicholas Paposo Wazenzia, Christopher Nathan Watson Olingling, Ricky Richard Worcester, Veronica Marie Woods, Elena A. Wyatt, Idil A. Yassin, Crystal Army, Benjamin Franklin Zelandia, and last but not least, Mario Zorro.
It's with great pleasure that I introduce to you the class of 2016 Doherty High School.
Thank you.